Italian designer Pierpaolo Lazzarini is back with yet another incredible yacht design and concept. Pierpaolo Lazzarini of the Lazzarini Design Studio is widely known for creating one of the largest superyachts in the world. The designer has taken things to a whole new level with his latest yacht design. Lazzarini is set to create the biggest and most extravagant floating city in the world. After the designer's swan-shaped superyacht, he is set to create another animal-shaped yacht, a sea turtle-shaped Terayacht that the world is yet to see. The itinerant yacht will cater to the multiple commercial and entertainment of those who will be living in the floating city. Take a look at the $8 billion Terayacht idea of the Italian designer. The $8 billion mega-vessel floating city will be called Pangeos, named after the supercontinent that existed over 200 million years ago during the late Paleozoic and early Mesozoic eras, called Pangaea. The project will be built in Saudi Arabia, and if realized, it will be the biggest marine vessel ever built as a vast floating city. If funded and approved, the project is set to begin the construction in 2033 at the King Abdullah Port. It is estimated that the project will take up to 8 years to complete, with a completion budget of $8 billion. The gigantic hull contains 9 different bows that is subdivided into several blocks. The project will be designed and handled by the Italian designer Pierpaolo Lazzarini of the Lazzarini Design Studio that is headquartered in Rome, Italy. The studio used a 3D technology to create the design and concept of the floating home life in city. It will be like an enormous floating metropolis that will have an adequate space for normal city places such as parks, retail malls, public transport, and even hotels. Once completed, the sea turtle-shaped Terayacht will set the record for the largest floating superstructure ever built. The floating city would have an area of about 550 meters, or 1,800 feet, and measure 610 meters, or about 2,000 feet at its widest point. It will be 3 times larger than the largest yacht in the world, Azam, which only has about 590-foot area. Lazzarini claims that the project is technically just a yacht, but the main idea is to turn it into a fully functioning and self-sustaining city. It has the ability to cover great distances by floating on the water, but can be anchored to the pier side. It can transport the guests at the speed of 5 knots. The enormous ship is estimated to hold a total of 60,000 people, exclusive of the undefined number of crew and personnel in the middle of the sea. There will be apartments and villas in the city to cater everyone who wanted to try living in the area. It will have 69 apartments and 19 extravagant and luxurious overwater villas on each wing of Pangeos. Some of these apartments offer the stunning overview of the central port area of the ship, while others will have the sea views. There will also be hotels, shopping centers, and clubs for those who want to party. The itinerant floating city Pangeos will be powered by 9 HTS electric engines that have the capacity of 16,800 horsepower each. Aside from these power sources, there will be solar panels lined up in the area that will provide the necessary energy to power the turtle-shaped Terayacht. The large wings of the yacht will also gain energy from the breaking of the waves, giving Pangeos the ability to cruise perpetually without the unnecessary emissions. The body of the ship starts from the entrance of the port area up to the main square, extending into the massive terraced villa. It will then lead to the private houses, rooftop terraces, buildings, and the upper shell zone, which offers a landing area for the flying vehicles. The lower space of the city can house over 30,000 cells and cluster compartments that will provide an unsinkable floating solution for the basement. The material for these will mainly consist of steel. What is the process? Over 30,000 cells installed beneath the living area would keep the yacht afloat. Its cruise speed would be 5 knots. It goes without saying that solar panels would be installed on a sizable portion of the hull and beam to supply power. Despite the fact that this is only a prototype, Lazzarini and Saudi Arabia are treating it seriously. In fact, they've started a crowdsourcing effort where anyone can pay $16 for a virtual ticket or an NFT that grants entry to their own virtual condo in the boat. It is the largest floating structure ever built on the Earth. The giant ship's dimensions. Once completed, according to the Arabian Business, it would be the biggest floating superstructure ever constructed. It is currently being developed. The opulent undertaking was developed by the Italian design group Lazzarini. The giant ship would be 1,800 feet long. Its widest point would be the 610-meter or 2,000-foot-long wings of Pangeos, according to Lazzarini. On every one of the floating vessel's wings, there will be 64 flats and 19 villas. In addition to these features, Pangeos will also have a supermarket and a beach resort. It will be powered by virtually infinite renewable energy sources. The engine is probably powered by solar panels on the roof and ocean waves. The distinctive structure will also feature an infrastructure called a terra shipyard that is 650 meters wide and 600 meters long and provides it with a simple connection to the sea. A turtle-shaped floating city could become an attraction around the world. Suitable site. Naturally, the architects would also require a unique location in order to construct such a large tower. KSA has been suggested by the architects as the site for construction. Before construction can start, a square kilometer of the sea will need to be excavated, and a circular dam will need to be built. The King Abdullah Port has been chosen by the Terayacht creators as the appropriate location. Quote, doable concept and not necessarily significant forward-facing resistance if the entire light materials construction is created to float atop multi-hulls parallel to each other and cutting through the navigation direction, another user noted. A loose association of catamarans of some sort. The supercontinent Pangaea, which is thought to have existed around 355 million years ago, is the source of the word Pangeos. The massive vessel is anticipated to include space for malls, ports for smaller ships, and aircraft to transport passengers. To make your stay here as comfortable as possible, the super comfortable edifice is also reported to be outfitted with hotels and parks. According to official media, the Terayacht size and design will enable 60,000 people to dwell on the water. Furthermore, the boat is currently simply a concept or an idea. It needs room to be built, and locations in Saudi Arabia near Jeddah have been suggested as the appropriate spot to do so. Where does the Pangeos get their $8 billion in funding? Although this is just a prototype, both Lazzarini Design Studio and Saudi Arabia are taking it seriously. Both parties wanted it to materialize and build the dreamlike floating city. With the objective of raising the necessary funds for the project, they have launched a crowdfunding campaign that will allow anyone to buy a virtual ticket for only $16. The fundraising can also be funded by buying NFTs that will give the owner an access to their own virtual apartment in the Turtle Yacht. They will also launch a Terayacht experience for those interested through a launch in Metaverse this year. They have yet to announce the date of their Metaverse launch date this year. Thank you for watching, and please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable post alerts to view more of our future videos. After saying that, keep watching our videos, and I'll speak with you in the next one.